What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. If you ain't up, like I always say, go ahead, get up, start that grind. Ain't got no time to be wasted. But we are up in Darlington, Maryland, for a drop of the insulation, and I was supposed to drop at 10 o'clock, which is, I didn't really like, because I like dropping early in the morning so I can find another load to take me back and then drop that, and then still have time to get, back to my customer to reload for tomorrow. But this particular facility doesn't start receiving until 10 o'clock. They got some funky receiving hours, so it is what it is. But I got there, it's on a tight street. There was 3 other trucks there that were trying to unload. And I guess everybody had the same mindset as me, is get there early so you're first. And that didn't work for me this morning. I was 4th. So since it's on a tight road, on a little tight 2-lane road, they told me that I couldn't sit there because it's not safe. So I actually had to leave and go down the road to the Wawa and sit until they call me. And then once they call me, I'll go to the receiver, get in there, get unstrapped, all that good stuff, get unloaded. And then we'll head back to Winchester to the customer and pick up another load for tomorrow. That goes, just a little short load, goes to Fairfax. So I probably won't look for a back haul today, just because I'm trying to hurry up, get back, get reloaded, because my daughter has her last softball game today. So that's not something that I want to miss, So I love working, I love making money, but family comes first. It's a hard balance sometimes, because I'm working for the family, but I also got to make sure I spend that family time, that quality time. I don't want, anybody or my kids to be like, remember that time you missed my last softball game? Because she's not sure if, this is her first year playing softball, so she's not sure or not if she's going to play again. So if she doesn't play again, I don't want to miss the last game. So we're not going to look for a back haul. We're just going to go back to the customer and get reloaded. That way I'm home nice and early for that game. But I see it everywhere. I hear it everywhere. It's all over the place on social media. You see it on the news about the trucker shortage. There is a trucker shortage. Everybody's giving sign-on bonuses to get truckers. Well, if you ask me, right now there's an everything shortage. Any type of employee, there's a shortage. There's an employee shortage in general, because the government decided to pay people to sit at home, and those people are taking advantage of it. So that's why you go to restaurants, and sometimes the drive-thru's not open or the walk-in's not open, because they don't have enough people to work all of it, because people are sitting at home collecting an unemployment check. Some of these jobs, they may think that they're too good for. Maybe they got laid off from a corporate job, and now the only job that's hiring is McDonald's. I don't know, but I'm not going to sit at home and collect an unemployment check, even if I could. But I don't think there's a trucker shortage. And the reason I say that is I think the trucker shortage is a narrative pushed by these big mega fleets, because maybe they want some more drivers so that they can lower the freight rates, so that they can eat up the freight market and push owner-operators out. I think there might be an owner-operator shortage, but there ain't no trucker shortage. Let me assure you of that. I think it's a narrative pushed by the big mega companies. Your Werners, your JB Hunts, your Snyders, those type of companies. I think they're pushing that narrative so that they get more employees, because they're running loads so cheap because they have a bunch of trucks. So if you have more trucks, theoretically, the more trucks you get, the lower you can run that rate and still come out with the same profit. Now, I don't know how that works because some of the rates that I see some of these people running for, I have no idea how they can even maintain a fleet or pay a driver with those rates. Not really sure, but somehow they make it work because they're everywhere and they take a lot of freight. They take volumes of freight. So I think that's just a narrative to push us little guys out the way. I don't think there's no trucker shortage, because if there was, I think you would see loads sit a lot longer. If you're looking on a load board, I think you see loads sit a lot longer, and I think the rates would be a lot better than what they are, because people really need to get their product moved. So eventually they got to pay to get it moved. But that's not necessarily what you see happen. You know, I've said it time and time again, over the last 30, 40 years, how much has everything increased? You know, how much has the price of trucks increased, the price of trailers increased, just any of your equipment, you know, that stuff has skyrocketed. Insurance prices skyrocketed. Everything has increased, but the rates. Now, right now, you know, a whole nother subject, I've seen some pretty good freight rates, you know, at least where I'm at. You know, the spot market, great. You know, I've seen loads paying $4 and better to get something moved, and not even full truckload stuff. So the rates are there. So if I was you guys, if you're in this industry, I'd get it. I'd hustle it out. Keep on going until you can't go no more. You know, take advantage of these good freight rates. But it's also spring and summertime, you know, almost summertime. Everything's ramping up, at least for flatbed. So you're going to start seeing those flatbed rates continue to increase because people are fighting to get their stuff moved. Now, if there was a trucker shortage, it would be like that all the time. Everybody would be fighting, increasing rates just to get their stuff moved. And that's not what I see, at least me. I don't know what you guys are seeing, but that's not what I see. So that's what makes me think that there's no trucker shortage. But like I said, the freight market with the rates booming right now. So if you're in it, if you're in the business, take advantage of it. If you're looking to get in the business, don't sell yourself short. Take advantage of these good freight rates, but also remember that it don't always stay like this. You know, our economy's in a volatile state right now. So you just gotta get it while you can, so that when it's gone, you got yourself a pretty nice cushion. But I wanted to talk about that a little bit because it's something that's been on my mind and everything, and I never really didn't get a chance to talk about it because I just haven't had the time. But since I'm sitting here, got plenty of time to kill, I was like, maybe I'll talk about it. So yeah, we're going to go into Wawa, get me some breakfast, and wait for these people to call me so I can go unload. Hopefully it don't take too long, but we shall see. See y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, we are back at the customer. We just got done getting loaded and strapped down. I got to thinking, I don't think I've ever showed you guys how I strap now that I have this new trailer. I've showed you guys on the old trailer like how I use the ratchet straps, but I don't think I've ever showed you all how I do my sliding winches. So just real quick, I mean, I don't have any sliding winches once again on the top deck, so I still use my 2-inch ratchet straps up on the top deck for anything that's on the top deck. For this particular product, I use 4. They want you to use at least 3 to keep it from blowing out. But it's still, if I use 3, you know, they want 1 within the first 6 inches, and then 1 following it, and then 1 at the back. But if I do that, the wind still catches the top of these things, and in between the 2 straps, it starts to balloon out. So I go ahead and put a 4th strap on there, and then none of the wind really catches on these. So some people put 2 straps on each skid or each pallet. I only use 1. They're 8 foot long, so you can use 1. You don't necessarily have to use 2. And then they want you to X-strap in the back if it's at the back of your trailer. But since this is a 48-foot load, at the bottom it's only 40 foot. So I still have 3 feet at the end of my deck. So I don't need to X-strap because the product isn't going to slide off of my trailer. So, but with my sliding winches, you can see here, I still put a half twist to keep those straps from flapping in the wind. You know, there's always been a debate of it weakens your strap ability and all that. But there was a YouTube video that came out not too long ago where a guy actually tested that, and it's false. Like I always knew, like a lot of people who use half twists know. I think I can't remember how many twists he put in that thing before it actually weakened the strap. So half twist keeps it from flapping, which keeps it, well, hey, you don't have to hear it flapping against the product. And also it keeps it from, you know, loosening your strap. So there's cardboard corner protectors up there that my customer supplies for everybody. So I just use those instead of getting my own out. It's just a lot easier. So I roll my straps up with the hook on the outside. So I come to this side, which would be the passenger side, to throw them across. I do my half twist. I put my hook through the rub rail and on the outside. That way there's no, you know, strap exposed on the rub rail. Everybody does it different. I just like having my hook on the outside. That way if anything catches on it, it's metal and it's not the actual strap. You have less of a chance of your strap ripping or getting cut by something when you're going down the road. So this last skid, the last 2, you know, 1 on each side, I put 2 straps across. That basically keeps the product from sliding back, because if you only have 1 back there, it will slide back a little bit. So that's why they make you X-strap if it's on the edge of your trailer. But as you can see, I got a nice little bit of deck space left right there on the trailer. So same over here. I come over after I throw my straps and everything. I do a half twist as well on this side. So as you can see, there's my twist right here. So I do a half twist right there, and I come once again inside my rub rail. Everybody's different, but like I said, on the other side, I don't want no chances of my strap getting cut, and that's the whole point of a rub rail, so why not use it? So I do a half twist, I come inside my rub rail, and then I go into my winch right here. I go ahead, and they're already tightened, so I can't really show you, but I go ahead and twist, you know, all the excess out. And then once I get to a little bit where I just have a little bit of slack left, I pull out on the strap to tighten it down on that winch, because if you don't, when you go to tighten down with your winch bar, for a while it's just going to be spinning inside itself, tightening up. So I go ahead and just do that by hand, tighten it up by hand, and then I come back, follow back with my winch bar. So that's pretty much how I do that. That's one thing I wish I actually would have thought about when I designed this trailer. I don't really know what I was thinking, honestly. I think I kind of just said, hey, I want 2 extra toolboxes, sliding winches, you know, that whole ordeal. But I wasn't thinking about having the sliding winches on the same side as my toolboxes. So sometimes that sucks, but it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it gives me a little bit more exercise because I got to go in that box right here to get my straps and then walk around to throw them. And then sometimes, like if I have a 2-stop or a 3-stop, I got to loosen this front strap. Sometimes you know, if it's in the way, I got to loosen that so I can slide the winch so that I can actually get that toolbox open to put my straps in there if I still have something right here. But it is what it is, you know. I learned to work with things, so, and it's not that difficult. So and then of course, you know, like I said, same ratchet strap ordeal. You guys have seen that before, you know, how I twist around and everything like that. So, but we are loaded. This goes to Fairfax in the morning, so a nice little short trip. I think it's like 40 miles or something like that to Fairfax. So we'll drop that off real quick. They want it first thing in the morning, so we'll drop that off, and then we'll come back here to get reloaded for Tuesday, because of course Monday is Memorial Day, so not a lot of people are open. So I will catch you guys in the morning. All right, guys, we are empty. Got here at 6:30 because they said they could unload me at 7 o'clock. So I got here at 6:30, called the guy because I didn't see anybody at the job site, and he was like, oh, they told me that you weren't going to be here till 8. So I had to stay here till about 8:30 and wait for ABC to get here because they had the Moffett. So they unloaded me with the Moffett and then took the product, I don't know if you guys can see it, way over there behind the construction fence. So it took a little bit to get unloaded because, you know, I'm out here on the street, and then he had to take it off, go all the way around the building, that building right there, go all the way around up the hill to you know, to drop the skid. So it took about, I don't know, 6-7 minutes per skid. He got one side. I was on this side of the street. He got the whole driver's side of the trailer unloaded. Then I had to move to this side of the street so that he could get the passenger side unloaded. And pretty busy street because the bus depot for Fairfax County is up there, and also Fire and Rescue Academy is here. So fire apparatus and school bus has been coming through all day, so I'm not going to hold up the road any longer. We're going to head back to the customer and pick up our load for Tuesday. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. All right, guys, so we are back at the yard, and I have gotten loaded. So we are done. It is Friday, Memorial Day weekend. I'm ready for the weekend. Spend some time with some family, get on the grill, cook out, eat some good food, all that good stuff. Just real quick, wanted to show you guys, since this load is going to Baltimore on Tuesday, the customer's closed on Monday, or the receiver's closed on Monday, so I can't deliver it till Tuesday, which is fine. But I just wanted to show you guys, since this load is going to Baltimore. I was talking about X-strapping and things like that. I don't really like X-strapping just because it's a pain in the butt to try to X-strap, and then if you don't get it right, you know, there's a high likelihood that X-strap will actually come off, and then you're dragging the strap down the road. You'll probably ruin your strap. Then you gotta stop, you gotta fix it, all that stuff. So I don't like X-strapping. So what I do is I basically just put this strap around the back, and that keeps the product from moving backwards on the trailer. So basically all I do is I put my hook, you know, I just use a 2-inch ratchet strap. I put my hook right here in front of the chain spool, and the reason that I put it in front of the chain spool is because your stake pockets, you know, have rough edges. So you don't, you know, since the strap is pulling backwards or at an angle, it's not going straight up and down, you don't want that to cut your strap. So I put it on a chain spool. Since it's got that nice rounded edge, I don't have to worry about that damaging my strap. So basically all I do is I hook it in front of the chain spool, I pull it up here at an angle, and I twist around I wrap it around my last strap, my last winch strap. It doesn't do anything to the winch strap. The winch strap is still tight. It's not going anywhere. So I wrap it around. You guys can see that. I wrap it around and it'll cinch down. I pull it around, put my edge protection on the end. That way it doesn't crush the edges of the product. And then basically I come over to the other side and I do the same exact thing. You know, so I'll put my edge protection right here so don't crush the product. I'll wrap around the other side of the strap, this winch, and then I'll come down and go in front of the chain spool and do my little tying thing that I do on my ratchet, and we're good to go. That product's not going to move backwards. If it does, I probably got bigger problems on my hands. So other than that, we're done. We're going to drop this Tuesday. Got another load to pick up on Tuesday just outside of Baltimore, run that down to Richmond, and then come back to the customer and get another load of insulation for Wednesday. So got a couple things that I need to do this weekend. Even though it's Memorial Day weekend, I still kind of have to do some stuff, mainly for the truck. One of the things is I have to get some lug nut covers. I have them, I just got to put them on to keep. The main reason I want to put them on is because, well, A, it looks bad if they're not on, but B, that is not the type of hub cover that you put the lug nuts on afterwards. That basically, the hub covers that I have go over the lug nuts, and then you just put the caps on. So the lug nut caps are actually the only thing that holds that hub cover on there. So if I lose all of them, then I'm gonna lose that hub cover, and I don't want to have to buy more of those and stuff like that. So I have some extra hub or lug covers. I just have to throw those on. I like to put a bead of silicone on the inside, so when I stick them on there, once it dries and expands, it kind of, you know, puts it nice and tight. Haven't had a problem up until now, and they just started popping off. You know, rough roads and stuff like that, construction zones and all that, just beating your truck up and everything. So they're bound to fall off, you know, but it's hard to keep pride in your ride sometimes, but you still got to work through it. So the only difficult part about that is these lug nuts, you know, since it's an older truck, stud centric, not hub centric. You know, they're 1.5 inches. They're not 33 millimeter like your regular semis with 22.5s or even 24.5s, but they have hub centric. So your newer semis have hub centric. They got 33 millimeter lug nuts. So I have 1.5 inches, and it's kind of hard to find those because a lot of people don't carry them because they just carry 33 millimeter. So I try to keep as many as I can on hand so that I don't have to try to find some when I need some. So the other side, I'm only missing like 1, but for some reason on this side, I'm missing like 5. So I'm gonna walk under my trailer here, because the other thing that I have to do is, I don't know, it might be kind of hard for you guys to see in here. Let's see if I can get it in there. You can probably see a little bit of it in the light with the oil and everything. But what that is that's hub oil. That's I got a bad axle seal. So I was dropping my load off this morning in Fairfax, and I was getting off the interstate, threw the Jake on, you know, one of the roundabout off ramps, threw the Jake on to slow down, and then went to hit the brakes, and I felt like I had to put more pressure on the brake pedal than normal. And so I thought it was going to be the trailer again with the dead battery. And then I was like, well, I checked the batteries this morning, everything was fine. So I got up to a stoplight and I held the brake controller and I tugged against it, you know, and the trailer was braking just fine. So I was like, well, must be something on the truck. So let's see what's going on, or maybe it's just fluke. So I started looking, when I got to my drop off, I started looking around and everything, and that's when I saw all the oil and everything on the inside dual on that passenger side. So I looked at the axle to see if maybe there was a crack in the axle, which I was hoping not, because I didn't want to have to replace an axle. Didn't see a crack in the axle or anything, so that leads me to believe that it is a seal. Not 100% sure until I can get that wheel off, but I'm about 99.9% sure that is what it's coming from. So got to get that fixed because the brake pads and the drum are completely soaked in oil. So, you know, I basically got to pull all that off, clean everything up, replace that seal, and then put everything back on. My brakes are good, so I got to clean those up and everything like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it sucks, but that's part of trucking. You know, things break. You got to fix them. You know, the last thing I want to do, you know, I got to get it fixed before Tuesday, because last thing I want to do is go out on the road knowing that it's like that and having to have an emergency stop, and I can't stop in time and hit somebody, kill somebody, whatever. Or even worse, or not even worse, but or DOT sees it and gives me a fine, shuts me down, messes up that perfect CVSA score that I've worked so hard for. So got to get that fixed ASAP. But you know, I ain't gonna let that get me down. You know, I'm not gonna let that ruin my weekend or anything like that. It's Memorial Day, you know, going to think about those, you know, who paid the ultimate sacrifice and everything like that. Spend time with my family, get on the grill, eat some good food, all that stuff. You know, I'm not going to let that get me down. You know, so if you guys are going through anything that may have you down, take a lesson from me. Don't let it get you down. Just keep on moving forward. You know, strive to move forward. Leave that stuff in the rear view. You know, things always get better. If you're at rock bottom, you ain't got nowhere else to go but up. That's what I always say. You know, so it's one of those things, no matter what business you're running, what job you're working, whatever you're doing in life, there's going to be setbacks. It's all about how you manage those setbacks, what you do with those setbacks. Do you let those setbacks keep you out? Or do you get back on the horse and keep it moving? You know, so it's like I always say, you know, you gotta wake up with determination and go to bed with satisfaction. That's pretty much life. You know, don't let that stuff get you down. Always strive, always grind, always hustle. You know, they say the dream is free, but the hustle is sold separately. You know, so, but other than that, I got my truck all cleaned up, got my floors done like I do every week. You know, so got them all nice and clean. Got my inside of my windows clean. The outside of the windows are dirty, but I'll get those at a truck stop when I get it washed. The back of the truck is absolutely filthy because I still have no fenders. Killing me. Just throwing rocks up on the back of my cab and all that stuff. I can't stand it. The quicker I can get those new fenders on there, the better. I actually had a buddy of mine tell me that he liked it better with no fenders at all, and I was like, you're crazy. Unless you want to replace the back of my cab from all the rocks hitting it, I'm gonna put fenders back on it. So with that being said, hope everybody has a good weekend, safe weekend, fun weekend, spending time with your family, remembering those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. And then as always, stay prayed up, grind hard, stay humble.